Here's your wrestling news for January 18th, 2022. And your headlines for today include: reason for messy finish during Raw main event revealed, WWE finally undoing some bad booking, but is it too late to save one of their top feuds? Former WWE champion says perfect WrestleMania plans were scrapped by the company. Smackdown superstar hits out at booking after fans call for him to leave. Bryan Danielson and AEW at odds over future plans for him outside the company. John Cena opens up about whether he's ready to become a father. Did AEW event give WWE their next big star of the company? We're kicking off today with Raw, as last night's show saw a main event between Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley, pitting the challenger for the Universal Championship against the challenger for the WWE Championship. Given this fact, fans weren't expecting a clean finish, and they didn't get one either, as Lashley won via DQ when he was attacked by his ex-Hurt Business teammates Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. WWE was all in when it came to promoting the Royal Rumble Premium Live event, as Raw also saw an excellent video package highlighting the careers of Lashley and his upcoming opponent Brock Lesnar, and the Almighty looked a lot better this week. It wasn't all about Lashley, as the show also featured SmackDown Tag Team Champions the Usos appearing to take on Rollins, fueling his program with Roman Reigns. Lashley and Reigns are two of WWE's most protected champions ever, and many expect both champions to retain next Saturday, but WWE is at least trying to keep their respective challengers protected on the road to the Royal Rumble. WWE is doing all they can to keep Lashley and Rollins looking strong ahead of the Rumble, which is more than what can be said for The Miz and Maurice. After Edge got the win over Miz at day one, you'd think WWE would try and make the latter look more credible ahead of their rematch next week, but both Miz and Maurice have suffered from some woeful booking. Last night, Maurice called for a face-to-face, one-on-one confrontation with Beth Phoenix, and the French-Canadian superstar, a two-time former Divas champion, was terrified at the prospect of getting in the ring. Requesting for the match to be cancelled, Maurice looked entirely helpless when faced with the idea of facing Beth Phoenix, and while Beth is indeed a force to be reckoned with, even heels shouldn't be this cowardly. The only saving grace is that this was a ruse, and lured both Edge and Beth into being blindsided by the It couple, but the fact that Maurice looked so believable when acting scared is a worrying sign. WWE has done nothing to make Miz and Maurice look like they could beat the Hall of Fame couple at the Royal Rumble, as they've either been afraid or on the losing end of a beatdown, or only got the upper hand thanks to deception. We should also take time to note that Edge came out to his wife's music in a nice touch by WWE, who made it clear that this isn't a case of Beth working as Edge's sidekick, but that the team are equals. Perhaps WWE could shock everyone by having the It couple emerge victorious next week, but it seems highly unlikely given the booking, and for a company that's constantly bashed for 50-50 booking, this feud has been almost entirely in the favor of the rated R superstar and the Glamazon. Yesterday, Mustafa Ali requested his release from WWE, saying that the message he wants to tell cannot be told in the company. WWE haven't publicly commented on this matter, but it's expected that his release will be granted, as Ali has gone underused for months, with his last match being in October last year. We previously reported that Vince McMahon pitched an idea that Ali would never agree to, the pair had a heated argument, and we now know of another storyline that was later scrapped. Speaking to the Metro, Kofi Kingston said that there were plans for him and Ali to feud in 2021, with a match planned for WrestleMania 37, which WWE's creative was working on. Fans will remember that in early 2019, Ali was in line for a huge push before getting injured, and that it was Kofi who received this push instead, culminating with Kingston becoming WWE champion. In the interview, Kingston said that the story was perfect and called WWE's decision to drop the storyline standard fare. Instead of Ali, Kingston and Xavier Woods faced AJ Styles and Omos last April, and the former Retribution leader was nowhere to be seen. Fans will remember that in early 2019, Ali was in line for a huge push before getting injured, and that it was Kofi who received this push instead, culminating with Kingston becoming WWE champion. In the interview, Kingston said that the story was perfect and called WWE's decision to drop the storyline standard fare. Instead of Ali, Kingston and Xavier Woods faced AJ Styles and Omos last April, and the former Retribution leader was nowhere to be seen. Not long after Ali made his request public, fans discussed who should ask to leave WWE next, which caused Ricochet's name to trend on social media. A former United States champion, Ricochet is one of, if not WWE's most athletic superstar, but his booking since coming to the main roster has been very lacking. Many fans believe the one and only could do better outside WWE, and that's an opinion Ricochet seemingly agrees with. On Twitter, Ricochet hinted at his 50-50 booking and how rarely he gets an important storyline, but said that his nickname should be Best Match on the Show. With his high-flying offense, there's no shortage of fans who believe Ricochet has the best match each night, but with fans still calling on him to request his release, we'll have to see how many matches of his happen in WWE in the future. When Bryan Danielson left WWE for AEW in early 2021, it came after some fierce negotiations, with both sides willing to let him wrestle in other promotions. Joining AEW in September, Bryan is yet to wrestle for anywhere else while signed to an AEW contract, and there may be some conflict about just where and when his first non-AEW match will be. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer explained that AEW is still waiting for Danielson to work elsewhere, and the former World Heavyweight Champion already has eyes on a promotion he wants to compete for. The problem is that this promotion is in a market AEW haven't run before, and they want Danielson's first match in that market to be on an AEW show. There's no word on where this promotion is, but a common theory is that Bryan wants to work for New Japan, but AEW hasn't toured Japan yet due to the ongoing situation. Bryan may be able to wrestle elsewhere, but AEW want him to wrestle in other locations for them first, and it'll be interesting to see what compromise is reached between the talented wrestler and his employer. At WrestleMania 33, John Cena proposed to Nikki Bella after their win over The Miz and Maurice, but the two didn't get married. Part of what ended the couple's relationship was Cena's reluctance to become a father, and that attitude hasn't changed in subsequent years. On the Drew Barrymore show, Cena was told by the host that he'd make the world's greatest father, but the 16-time world champion made it clear that he's not looking at becoming a dad thanks to his incredibly busy schedule. It's hard work to balance the time. I need to run myself correctly. It's hard work to be the best partner and husband I can be to my loving wife. It's hard to keep connections with those in my life that I love, and it's also hard to put in an honest day's work. In 2020, Cena married Shea Shirayatsuda and has been busy with his new role as Peacemaker for DC Comics and HBO, and although Big Match John has a legion of young fans, he's not ready to become a parent himself. And we're ending today with Bron Breakker, who captured the NXT Championship from Tommaso Ciampa at NXT New Year's Evil, ushering in a new era for the brand. Breakker's stock has consistently risen since his debut on the brand 4 months ago, and the new face of NXT 2.0 has found time for some interesting choices outside WWE. Speaking to Fightful, Breakker spoke about his wrestling career and said that though he didn't accept any offers to wrestle while he was playing football, he did attend an AEW event in Atlanta. This show allowed Breakker to meet many old friends of his father Rick Steiner, as many stars of WCW have found a new home in the All Elite promotion. Obviously, Breakker never signed with AEW, but this appearance did at least give the second-generation superstar a taste of the industry, as Tony Khan's company was in part responsible for creating a man many consider to be the future of WWE. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.